Hey Capricorn, this is your general tarot reading for Capricorn, Sun, Moon and Ascendant or Rising sign for the month of November, Capricorn. Let's do as we always do. We'll shuffle the cards and wait on all the right ones to come out for you, my love. And in the meantime, let's talk about the energies that you may feel throughout the month. So, we're leaving October, entering November, still a little under the effect of the full moon that happened in Taurus. And what that could have meant for you is you're leaving behind a period where there was some concern or worry over getting out there and taking a risk about something. Maybe something that you were doing creatively. Yeah, maybe there was some concern because Taurus is quite physical. Maybe you were concerned that you couldn't get out there and have some fun, find new love and just join the party a little bit because maybe you were feeling not physically up to it. You just probably didn't have the energy right now to do all the things that you really wanted to do. But that's okay because it seems some of the pressure there is being taken off already as we go into November. There's also the energy of if it is something maybe regarding children that might have given you a bit of stress or worry, that's also a period that seems to be coming to an end for you. But whatever it was, it turns around, so there's no need to worry. And if it is something that you're creating, definitely, this is a great time because you've got the Sun in Scorpio in the 11th house, which is meaning that it's a good time for you to get out and share some of these beautiful things you've created. Share some of your skills and talents, some of the wonderful, some of the wonderful creations that have been just in the development stage. It's time to share that with a larger group of people and to maybe receive some success, fame even, but certainly some recognition or some big clap on the back at least for something that you've worked hard on and put a lot of time and energy and effort on. So it's worth it this month because that's where it's at. Now, it does mark a time this month where you could be quite popular. So get out there with your friends, get out there on the social media sites, get out on dating apps, get out showing yourself off a little bit, to the world in general, because you're shining. So, and particularly on social media, because I know a lot of people work on social media one way or another, or on the internet somehow. And if that's you, Capricorn, then it's a great golden period for that right now. So use it, run with it, and expand it. So what's on your mind right now? Mercury is on your mind. He's in Sagittarius in the 12th house. Now, the 12th house is a place where we go to rest and recover and maybe find some quiet space to think, contemplate, and to mull over some things. It's a place sometimes where we can feel quite lonely or isolated or forgotten. So if that's been on your mind, know that it will improve. And I'll tell you why. Because Jupiter going in on November 8th into Sagittarius in the 12th house will kind of bring more happiness and optimism into the areas of your life that you felt could have been a little bit neglected. Places where you were feeling a bit lost or lonely, or isolated. This is a moment where Jupiter can step in and say, okay, we're going to open this out and see all those gaps where you just thought were empty spaces in your heart, in your soul, in your spirit. We're going to fill them with some blessings, essentially, something more positive. We're going to work on that now for the next while. 12th house is perhaps where you spend time in those quiet places, alone, in isolation, and opening it out and praying. Jupiter is the one who believes, the one who has strong connections to what they believe. And maybe what's happening for you as Jupiter moves into your 12th house is that the more you develop some qualities concerning what you believe in, these seem to heal something in you. They heal some isolation, some, as I said, feelings of loneliness, and some feeling of being left out somehow, where you're lost or where you're not seen, where you're not noticed. So it's a wonderful opportunity for you to fill in those gaps with a little bit of faith, with a little bit of spirituality. And for those of you who pray, perhaps use that quiet time to pray. But certainly the 12th house is also quite intuitive and psychic, where it wants to really explore the outer limits of something. And this could mark a period for you, Capricorn, with Jupiter moving in there now, where you really want to explore what you believe in. What is your faith? Who do you pray to, if indeed you pray at all? What has spiritual significance for you? How do you improve your psychic skills? How do you improve your intuition? How do you fill those gaps that were once looking like empty places? How do you fill them with an abundance of real love? Real love. Love from the universe, as they say sometimes. So it's a wonderful time for you to really explore that and to go with that. The only caution that you should have on this journey is not getting yourself into a huge amount of debt that you might later regret, or not giving way too much of yourself to some spiritual thing. It's wonderful to explore spirituality, definitely, but it stops being wonderful when you decide to sell everything you own and to leave your job and leave everything and give everything to a spiritual cause. Now, okay, I'm going to just put a thing here to say that sometimes that can be an amazing adventure to go on. And I can't say don't do that. I can't say sell everything and just go with some guru or go with some trip to a far-off island where you can meditate and reevaluate your connection to the spirit. That is powerful. But I'm just saying that it's probably something that you do consciously, rather than waking up months down the road and saying, what did I do? Now I've had that time of delving into the spirit and I lost all my money while I was doing it. Do it consciously so that whatever you do, there is no sense of regret afterwards, you know? It's like when a person gets so involved in this kind of spirituality that they might write in their will, I bequeath everything I own to a wise old cat that lives on a mountain somewhere. It can be done. I'm not saying don't do that if that's really what your spirit wants to do, but just show caution. Make sure that you're entering something that releases your subconscious in a kind of conscious way, if that is even possible. But it's better to know these things before you begin any great spiritual adventure, so that when this phase passes, that you have no regrets. And I'm sure you won't have any regrets anyway, embarking upon any type of journey that really helps you spiritually. It's just the reason why I was saying this is that I don't want you to get scammed out of your money, okay, by somebody who claims to have the mystery answers to the world. And then you end up losing your bloody house to them. So that's all I'm saying about that. But it is a wonderful time to expand your communication with your psychic skills, with the universe, with the cosmos, and getting back in line completely with your deepest spiritual connection. So it's gorgeous for you, Capricorn, very nice. Uranus on November 6th, he's moving back out of Taurus into Aries, back into your 4th house of family, of home, of your body, your spiritual temple. Your body is your temple, and he's the real mover and shaker. He rattles things up, and he's coming back to rattle things up a little bit again in your home life and family life. And I wonder if this is also playing a part here, because things might get rattled up spiritually for you, in your home and your house for you, where you decide to change everything up in your home, where it looks more like a spiritual retreat, where it looks more like a sanctuary, where you can turn your key in the door, walk in and say, now I'm at peace, now I'm at total rest. I can forget about all those nasty things that happen on the other side of that door. I can shut the door switch off the world and just be at peace. So you might be concerned about that, and it could be quite a healing thing for you to do. But also going in line with that is the North Node entering Cancer this month into your 7th house of partnerships, of getting everything in harmony, bringing balance back to things, a sense of equilibrium. And maybe that's the whole thing. This expansion of your spirituality, getting out there, meeting new friends, taking some of the worries away from the things that you're creating, and just open up to bringing more harmony and balance into your world, into your inner world, and into your outer world. Could mark a period where some of you really feel that you know it's time now to change something up completely at home. You need maybe to change where you live, maybe to change your country altogether. Move to a totally new place that gives you better connection to something spiritual, maybe moving closer to mountains or a river or somewhere where you can just be at a kind of peace while you are opening up and exploring this Jupiterian expansion of your spirit, where you go in to recover some of the deeper and darker places of your whole being. So it's something that might crop up for you. So that's why I'm letting you know that. But this gives the sense of balance that the North Node is now saying, this is where you're at. This is where you're going. Some of the things that might change up for you in your home that begin in November is that you might want to bring a partner home. If you're single, you might want to say, it's time, I am ready to share my life with somebody. Yeah. Or it's time, I am ready to get rid of the old one and bring somebody in that brings a better sense of balance now to this new phase that I'm going through, perhaps spiritually. Yeah. So you want to connect and draw people together to you that you can have more serious one-on-ones with, definitely. You want to bond with people, certainly, that are more your style of person. But 7th house is balance in everything. Now for you, in your temple, Cancer can often be the temple of the body where the emotions are. This could mark a period where you really focus on bringing great balance back into your mind, body, soul experience, where you are able to temper your emotions better, where you're able to explore your emotions in a very balanced way, and where you're able to get your body back in balance. And on a very literal level, it could mean the beginning of a journey where you get your posture back in balance. You know, Capricorn, sometimes you might have problems with bones, teeth, and so on like that. So it could be a time where you just have to focus on maybe doing some exercises, yoga, or the Alexander technique, isn't that what it's called? Where you get your body back in a good position and in a good posture, in a good state of equilibrium. So it's beautiful. It can mean many things, but you'll discover them along the way. 7th house is sometimes also where things are put right, where there is balance brought back into some situation in your life that may have gone out of control. And I think that you're going to begin seeing how balance, justice can come back to your life, how things that were out of balance are restored. So that's nice, very, very nice. Now Mars, November 15th, is moving into your house of communications, travel, the 3rd house, into where your neighbors are, brothers and sisters and so on. So you could find a time here that you're putting a lot of energy into trying to communicate something deeper and more spiritual and more intuitive. And all your energy and focus is going into being able to communicate on this kind of spiritual, soulful level. You're going into this kind of arena where you're not so embarrassed or shy about telling people that, I don't know, that you need a bit of comfort, or that you need a bit of sympathy, or that you need a bit of empathy. And likewise, you're willing also to share that with them. The energy here is that you're becoming a little bit like a guru yourself, a self-styled guru perhaps, bringing balance and poise back to other people's life and communicating that well. Yeah, but a lot of effort and energy on a more literal level could be going into communicating more gently with other people, not making any great demands of anybody, but just speaking a bit softer, speaking a bit more from a place of empathy. And it's just a nice energy. And for those of you who are in the healing or psychic arts or counselling, so on like that, this is a wonderful moment where all your energy is put into communicating something very meaningful and healing that can give you and other people great sanctuary, great peace of mind. Peace of mind. Absolutely. Your energy is going into achieving peace of mind here too. Now, November 16th, Mercury is retrograding in Sagittarius in this 12th house. So it could be a moment where you go back, review, rethink what spirituality once meant to you and why you let it go, why it got lost. Don't you pray anymore? Is there a reason for that? Do you feel that you've been missing that connection? So it might be a thing that you go back and reconnect with that. It may be a moment where you reconnect with allowing yourself time and space to just open up and switch off your mind, get engaged in meditation again, get engaged in just allowing and drifting off. You know that lovely zone, Capricorn, where you're just in that peaceful mind frame, nothing going round and round in your mind, but you're just totally relaxed. So this is a time where you might go back and say, I remember when I could do that. I remember when I was really connected to being in that zone, and I want that back. What you might want back to is a reconnection to some of the great ideas that you had lost. Maybe you had plans, targets that you were shooting for that you'd given up on. You just felt, oh, they're gone, they're lost, my opportunity has passed, I'm getting too old, I should have done it then, now I've lost my window of opportunity, I've lost. No, you can go back and retrieve what you thought was once lost and bring it back up, dust it down and open it back up for review. And maybe you might be able to see that target again and find that it's a target worth going for or trying for once more. All may not be lost with some of those old dreams that you had, Capricorn. Venus going direct in Libra on November 6th, also the same day that Mercury retrogrades in Sagittarius. And this is a wonderful time where you have maybe found great things through October that could help you within your career, help you stand out and be a responsible and respectable person. Even if it's not in your career, the responsibilities that you have in your life, if you are caring for members of the family, or if you are the linchpin in the family where you hold everything together with some project that you're doing or something that you do, you could have spent October rediscovering new ways to do that, and now in November you're putting them into place. You're re-establishing some, again, healthy equilibrium in your workspace and wherever it is that you have some big responsibilities. And when it comes to love, I did say to you before, I think, Capricorn, that some of you may have been finding love through a key person, somebody who is very well respected, somebody who you can admire, look up to, somebody who may be the boss, or somebody who is a self-made person who has built something of their lives, made something of themselves, and you could find yourself very, very, very attracted to them, or at least if you're not attracted to them, you're very impressed by them, and somehow this carries you through November some way. Yeah. In terms of money and your career, it's a good time. It's a really good time for you to start seeing the thing that you're doing in your career make money. Let it start paying off. Yeah. Now, November 22nd, the Sun in Sagittarius is in the 12th house. We spoke a little bit about that, where it's now the point here where you really have to start delving into this whole topic of what was lost, the dreams that you lost, the people that you lost, the things that you lost. Looking at the empty spaces in your life that aren't filled with anything, and putting a lot of energy into healing those empty spaces and filling that space or that abyss, that wide chasm that maybe is a bit fearful for you, with something that heals. And that again could be something that you believe in, probably a faith, probably an ideology. Hopefully it's that you believe in yourself again. You believe in optimism again. You believe in trusting that good things will happen in the end again. You know? That it's not all doom and gloom. That you can start something, begin something, or just live your life and hope for the best and assume that that's what's going to happen. So it's a lovely energy of positivity, yeah. Now, November 23rd, we have the full moon in Gemini in your 6th house. So this could mark a period where you are finishing up having to maybe explain something over and over and over again, communicate something in work or with your health. There comes a period towards the end of the month where you really need to communicate to somebody something that is perhaps making you very anxious and causing some anxiety in your body or causing you to feel very stressed out. So it's a good time to quieten the mind as much as you can this month towards the end of the month and not get so stressed out about work issues, about the things that you have to do in the day, running around after this person, running around after that person. If you just don't get too hung up on being stressed out to the max by the end of the month, then you'll be doing okay. And maybe things in work might be a little bit improved, okay? Now, November 24th, Neptune is going direct in Pisces. So again, some of the old illusions around communication could be like, it's like the smoke clearing, and you might see through somebody's illusions. You might see through somebody's words and suddenly kind of get a much clearer picture of what it is they've been communicating, and you may or may not like it. But either way, you've got a clear window this time to examine conversations, to examine ideas, to examine other people's and even your communications, to see how it's been expressed. And it gives you an opportunity now to maybe start doing it in a whole new way. Neptune, the dream weaver. Maybe some of you might be wanting to communicate in a beautiful way, a poetic way, through music, poetry, or the arts in some way, and start a new dream there. Yeah. Neptune can be somebody who's very spiritual, but also somebody who is in the glamour world or the movie world or theatre world. And it could be a time towards the end of the month where you see just a new way to express yourself in a deep and meaningful and maybe poetic or dramatic way. So that's really nice. Now that card did jump and it jumped back down. We're waiting on a few cards here, Capricorn. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to have to choose 4 more cards for you, if you don't mind, just to start this reading. Well, this one did pop out, so I'll choose 3 for you now, if you don't mind. Queen of Swords, Aquarius card. 7 of Pentacles. And the last one, this hopped out. Look, this beautiful card, the Happy Ever After card. And I said to you that, you know, the smoke will clear, the clouds will clear as Neptune goes direct, and you will begin again to see what's behind that shadow. And very much so, 12th house, you will be beginning to see now as the fog lifts what is behind the big veil that separates us and the 12th house of the outer limits. Okay, now let's see, Capricorn, let's move over to the big grand overview. So we begin here with you feeling that you've been a bit beaten down, that everything you've been working on, everything you've been doing, every time you put your hand to something or tried to walk towards something, that it was a hard job, that it was work, it was a slog, It was effort had to be put in. But what you get here at the start of the month is the moment where you realize that that hard work, that the hardest part of it is finished. It's over. If you were doing something that you're very passionate about, that your heart and soul is in, that you're giving fire, passion and energy to, then you do come to the realization at the start of the month that it was worth it. And even though he's a bit bashed, bruised, I mean, he does look like somebody who's just had enough and he's just ready to give in. But look what's happened. He's got great muscles going on there. You see, he got a workout. And I think this is what it is, Capricorn. Even though you're bashed and bruised like this guy, you have been working, you have been exercising your skills, you have been pushing through, which means now that you are like this guy, you are stronger. You're stronger than ever. You've risen to the challenge. You've been pushing so hard that now you arrive at a point that you say, I could throw the towel in. I have to decide whether what I'm doing in this relationship or this career or this situation, I have to decide right now, do I keep going or do I give up? And I think you do get to a point where you say, I've come this far, I'm not going back. I've done this much, I'm not stopping. You look almost backwards and you say, did I really do all of that? I'm not wasting the hard work that I've put into this thing, whatever it is, be it a relationship or the work that you're doing. So it is that wonderful moment of realization that the worst of it is behind you. And you're now getting ready to really make something come alive. You see, this is fire. Wands are fire and magic. And when fire and magic touch anything, it comes alive. And say fire is almost like the last part of the journey. Say we begin with solid materials, which would be pentacles, the earth. Then they come into form, which would be swords, air. And then they're given soul and depth and purpose, which is water, cups. But then they're brought to life. They're given the magic of the momentum, of energy, of moving by themselves, okay? So if it's a project or something you're desperately passionate about, there is a moment that you are really almost ready at the very beginning of November to see that pay off, to see it come alive. And then what? Beside Mars, the Aries, another fire. You're opening the month fired up and ready to just, I don't know, set something in motion. Set a relationship in motion. Set a project you're doing in motion. You're ready, like the sun in the 11th house, to put it out there and share with people. And that gives it even more motion. You're releasing something to be appreciated and enjoyed. But certainly the energy, whatever this is, Capricorn, that you've been putting into this thing, situation, whatever, it was worth it. It was worth it because here you have Mars. Now Mars is in Pisces on November 15th. He starts the month in Aquarius in your second house of, money, finance, self-esteem, self-confidence. Has that been what you've been working through, Capricorn? Working on building up your self-esteem and your confidence, not being shy about getting into new relationships, not being shy about creating something worthwhile in your life, not being shy and feeling that you're not quite good enough, because you're more than good enough, and the work you put into it is so amazing that you are ready here now, say by around the 15th of November particularly, to really communicate and share what it is that you have been putting so much work and energy and effort into. You could have been assisted by an Aries or a very key person, maybe a boss, and maybe an older person, an older male in particular, or somebody who is on your side and battling alongside you, somebody who stands by you and gives you strength. So that's a really nice energy there. The worst of some hard slog seems to be over, And it seems that it was all worth it because you get the big success in the end. Capricorn, are you doing something? What are you doing? What had you been working really hard on improving or developing or shaping? For some of you, it could have been your health, I know. For some of you, love, shaping a relationship or building up your career in some way. But whatever it is you've been doing, it pays off and you get into a much stronger position. And here we have the energy of the Ten of Swords, which is Moon in Gemini energy in your 6th house. Now, on November 23rd, the Moon is in Gemini. So we've 2 cards talking about the Moon here. So I think very early on, you're going to start feeling this in the month. You're going to start feeling some pressure building when it comes to your health situation or when it comes to detoxing your fitness, taking care of your diet, living cleanly in general. And also when it comes to the space that you work in, even the routines in your life, they could all be getting a little bit too much. Maybe you have to get up too early in the morning to be ready to get out the door, to do this, to pick up that, to drop kids off, to blah, 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 blah. Maybe it's all getting a bit too much for you. And it's time to start paying attention to that, because what we don't want is to lose the equilibrium here, which now the North Node in Cancer wants you to focus on. Don't lose your balance and don't get all stressed out, because it's not worth it, Capricorn. There is really nothing worth getting so anxious and stressed out for. You can let some of this go, and certainly around the 23rd of November when the Moon goes into Moon in Gemini card in your 6th house, you can let go. Are you worried about your office space or your day-to-day, how you operate in your workspace? If that's been causing you a huge amount of stress, you'll know that you'll get some great insight in how to finally fix that and let it go. Because this looks like a terrible card. I know that looks like, oh my God, this guy isn't just on the ground. Somebody put the knife in here, but not just once, they did it 10 times. And there might be a moment here too, Capricorn, where you get to ask yourself, are you the one putting the knives in yourself? Are you the one hurting yourself? Hurting on a very literal level, your back, your posture, getting so stressed out and wound up. Are you the one doing that to yourself? Or if it is a thing or a situation in work, you might find out that in work, in your workspace, somewhere in your daily habits or your health regime, that it is going to come to the surface and show you that it is not helping you. In fact, it's hurting you. So it's a good time, really a good time to focus on getting your health really, really together. That's mind, body, soul health. And not to allow yourself to be so stressed out by your day-to-day tasks, by the things that you have to do in work, by your deadlines, by the things you're responsible for. This is a moment where you begin to release that. And you've all the energy there with Jupiter in the 12th house, Mercury in the 12th house saying, stop, Capricorn, time to relax, time to slow down, time to find rest and peace, time to recover, time to recover. Yeah. Now, the Moon does represent hidden things, and very often the 12th house can represent hidden things, secrets. And I would say this could be a month where very early on, a lot of interesting things might come to mind. Moon and Mercury, where things that might have been hidden are communicated to you. I'd say you're feeling the effect of the Moon very early on in the month. I know that sounds like a strange thing to say, but you are feeling that you might hear things from other people, get conversations, overhear conversations, just accidentally stumble upon something on, a group chat or something that really gives you that moment where you say, to hell with them, to hell with this situation, to hell. I'm just focusing on me getting ahead. I'm focused on me getting stronger. I'm focusing on me bringing my life into balance. I know I'm over the worst of the hardship, but I'm not going to allow small-mindedness and maybe some office gossip hurt me. You know what it's almost like, Capricorn, what I'm feeling? You're doing something beautiful. You're being responsible. You're taking care of whatever it is in your life, probably your career, the office that you're doing, being a key person there, being responsible, blah, blah, blah. And what you might find at the very beginning of the month is that you notice that people are kind of chipping away at you very slyly. And they might not be to your face. It might be just a vibe you get. You see the moon vibe. There might be whispers or vibes. And I'll tell you this, if you hear that, or if you feel that you're on the receiving end of gossip or bullies or just people who sneer or give you, the sly eye, let me tell you this, Capricorn, that's nothing got to do with you. You're a respectable, upright person. You're doing your thing. You're making your world happen, and it doesn't matter what anybody says, because it's not your problem. It's their problem. Was it, to paraphrase Oscar Wilde, what did he say? What other people think of me is none of my business. And that's what you need to hold on to here, Capricorn. If people don't, maybe they might be a little bit jealous here, or they might be a little bit nitpicky, small-minded, and you might feel challenged. You might say, well, why are you doing this? What's the point of this? The answer is, it is nothing to do with you or what you're doing, but everything to do with what they're not able to do. And what are they not able to do? They're not able to do what you do, Capricorn. So you just keep doing what you're doing and jump ahead. Now, look, this is very much Jupiter. 4 cards often represent Jupiter expanding 12th house issues, which is going back to rest, have peace of mind, and in some case look back a little bit, as Mercury retrograding is doing in the 12th house. Look back on things that you have forgotten about and left behind, things that you were deemed at one point unworthy, or that you don't want to have anything to do with them again. Maybe look back on that and see if there's something worth salvaging. There might be a moment here too, Capricorn, so don't think it's just you. It might be all the Capricorns. So I always say to you here, take care of each other in the comment section or whatever. Look after each other, because you're taking a moment here to look back on perhaps some of the things that hurt you deeply. And allow that to happen, Capricorn. Allow it, because you need this peace of mind to just go over some old ground again. And when that disappears, and when you can release, forgive, forget, surrender, which is very 12th house, when you can let go of some grief or sadness or isolation, feeling lonely, then what happens is that you're ready and open to allowing new things come in. Spirituality, you will see that he's praying. You'll see that he is getting into a zone where he is ready to receive something holy, something good. And again, if you're not a religious person, understand just the symbolism of this, that you are relaxing, getting into a zone where you're ready to receive something healing, something purer, something nurturing, something that can ultimately bring you back into a state of balance after maybe really leaving behind something that has hurt you, maybe from the past. And once you do, what happens? You're ready to run ahead with these new adventures, ready to run ahead with all enthusiasm, all passion. And as a winner, as a leader, as somebody who can't be stopped, you're not going to stop this guy. Get in his way and he'll trample you down. He's unstoppable, like you this month, Capricorn, unstoppable. And if anybody comes to challenge you, which again, I do suspect they will, and it might be something you hear, and I want you to know that is negativity you can let go. Fire is purifying everything. If you are in a battle with somebody or in a challenge with somebody this month, be the knight, the one who rears up and says, I'm over this. I have places to go. I don't need to stay stuck here listening to people who want to battle with me, listening to negative situations, listening to people who don't want a fair fight, listening to people who are sneaky and trying to get ahead, listening to people who want to chip away at me. I'm over this, and I'm moving quickly away from that negative vibe. To do what? To look towards newer horizons, to look towards something that's more beautiful, more inspiring, and that gives you more energy towards look, we do know that Uranus is retrograding in your 4th house. And around November 15th, there could be a moment where you really are seriously considering getting the coin together to look to newer horizons, change where you live, maybe move, as I said before, very further afield. And you're feeling more inspired by this idea. You're certainly feeling inspired to create a safe place for you, to create a place where you can rest, relax, and get more connected to something purer. So you're more inspired to do that. But it's interesting because what we have beside it here is the Queen of Swords looking down upon the 7 of Pentacles. Now this marks a period where you may have been giving yourself a hard time over money, over your self-development, and over your growth, over the things that you're investing your time and energy and effort into. Instead of getting any joy and pleasure over watching your life grow, over watching the things you create grow, over watching the things that you're so wonderfully investing in your life grow, instead of having pleasure, you're saying, come on now, work. When is it harvest time? When can I cut this? When can I chop it down? Look at me, I'm here waiting. I have my sword. Hello. Rise. Come on, hurry up. I want to be able to chop that coin. Show me the money. Give me the results. Give me the reward. So this is something that you really need to let go of now, Capricorn, as we go through the month here. That pressure that you're putting yourself under, if you're under pressure financially, or if you're putting yourself under some sort of pressure where results have to happen now. I've planted a seed now, I have to see the return. I'm doing something with a group of friends or in a team in work or with a team of people or on social media. I've planted it, now show me the results. You can't do that. You have to let all things grow in good time. Remember that. And when you do, here comes this beautiful last card, which is all about all your dreams and wishes coming true. This is the happy ever after card. The card where Neptune going direct this month might take some of the clouds away and give you more clarity. And once you have that clarity, what do you see? You see a life worth living. You see spirituality. You see joy. You see hope, which is what Jupiter is going to bring to your 12th house. Hope in the dark places. Light in the dark places. Replacing the emptiness with a fullness of pure love. So that's a really, really, really gorgeous thing. And I love that last card coming out for you, Capricorn, because I think that as we go through the month, after all the work and maybe some of the nasty stuff that you might have to deal with other people, maybe in the office, maybe other people just chipping away at you in general, I think that by the end of it, when you stop giving yourself a hard time, stop trying to hurry the results of something up unnecessarily and just allow it to grow in its own good time, or even heal in its own good time, then the happiness returns. So Capricorn, I'm going to leave it at that, but before I go, I want to let you know something. I am doing a little project of my own where I have new videos out on Vimeo, and I have them linked there below. Every month I do these general readings, and they will stay here exactly as they always are. But I'm doing a thing called the Deep Read, where I discuss some topics in depth. So you have the general idea of what's going on here. And in the Deep Read in Vimeo, I will talk about issues around love, for those of you in a relationship, for those of you looking for love. I'll talk about your career, maybe money, family, friends, or any other issues that crop up. We will just open it all out and dig deep to see if we can get extra clarity on the month. Now, the readings, I've kept the price as low as I possibly could, because, I mean, they are 60-minute readings. They are very in-depth. And hopefully the price is low enough for you to find it accessible, that it's something you can do. And if it is something you can do, I'd love you to come along and see it, because I'd love to know what you think about it and if it's something that you want me to continue doing. So the link is down below, and like I said, if it's something you can do, come along. I'd love to see you there to hang out in the deep read zone. Capricorn, I'm going to leave it at that. If this is the first time seeing my readings, then please subscribe and join me on social media, and do come back next month to see how this all pans out. And as always, I'm going to leave you with all my love and a great big kiss. Mwah! Capricorn, until next month, love you. Bye.